Hello, everybody. Welcome into Fantasy Pros. I am Ryan Wormeli, joined by Andrew Erickson. We have two fill-ins on this stream. You guys are used to Joey P and Debro. Instead, you're getting Worm and Erickson. It's basically a TikTok Tuesday on a Thursday. Erickson, I'm looking forward to chatting with you, buddy.
It's a TikTok Thursday on YouTube. Is this on YouTube? I think it's on YouTube. YouTube, Twitch. I don't know what we're streaming from anymore because we're just doing all the streams on all the platforms. So follow us everywhere. And yeah, get these questions in. Worm, we got the queues all filled up, man. There's no time for nonsense.
I love it. There's already questions coming in. I do have to remind everybody that the best way to get your question guaranteed to be answered is by a super chat in the first 20 minutes of the show. We will absolutely 100% guarantee we will get to all of those questions. We are going to do our absolute darndest to get to all the other questions as well, particularly prioritizing those super chats that come in after the 20-minute mark. But the 100% guarantee is in the first 20 minutes. But then, of course, Erickson and I are machines who are going to run through as many as possible, even beyond the ones that we are guaranteeing. So like you said, let's jump right in because we've got a full queue here already. First one coming up here. This question came in early, by the way, hours before the stream started. They are ready. Pick one running back and one flex PPR. My guy, your guy, Monangai. I love it. Kamani Vidal, Jennings, and Rachaad White. That's assuming Bucky's out, which certainly looks that way. Who would be your running back and your flex, Erickson?
I think it's Monangai and Rachaad White. Like the snap percentage with White, assuming that Bucky is out, and the Patriots are a tough matchup for running backs on the ground, but they can be had through the air. We know White is a good pass catcher, and he should play a lot of snaps in a high-scoring game. And Monangai, yes, probably going to lose out on some of the touches to Swift, but still a great matchup, and he still had a role even alongside Swift before Swift's injury. So I think that he can fire off here. So Vidal is tough to bench because it seems like he has a high snap share, but I do worry about the Chargers offensive line and who is left.
I've been hosting the Thursday Start Sit recorded show, not the live stream, all season. Today we had the actual tensest argument we have had all season on that show. It's me, Fitz, and Jake Seeley from The Athletic, because Jake and Fitz were hard disagreeing on Kamani Vidal this week. Jake is basically out, thinks Jarrett Patterson is going to eat into this workload and be the closer late in the game if they're winning. He's really concerned. Meanwhile, Fitz is 72% snap share. He's got 100 yards in 2 of the last 4 games. Fitz is still very in on Vidal. So that is a very interesting one. I'm actually surprised you said Monangai because I think I would go White and Vidal. Monangai is in that conversation. I would not play Jennings. I would be between those 3. And I have no problem with I love Monangai, but I just get worried about, D'Andre Swift full to participant at practice today. So it makes me a little more nervous, but that is a fair one. So White and then one of Vidal or Monangai from us. We'll go to the next question here. Start 2. This is in PPR, Erickson. JMO, Franklin, Tyler Warren. Also, is Tyler Warren for Judkins fair? Both teams need the other position. Also, Henderson, running back, what rest of season? Let's start with the first one. Would you start Jameson Williams, Troy Franklin, Tyler Warren? Got to pick 2.
Jameson Williams and Tyler Warren would be my 2 guys I would play.
I agree with that one. That's easy. Tyler Warren for Judkins if the other team needs a tight end and you need a running back. Is that fair to you? My initial reaction is yes, that is fair.
Yeah, I think that's fair, especially if one team is hurting particularly at that particular position. I think that this is a win-win trade.
Yeah. I think that's a really good one. And then TreVeyon Henderson running back rest of the season. This is the one that's a little trickier because I could see this going in any number of directions. When you first hear me ask the question, what's the first number that pops into your head? Gut reaction shooting from the hip.
I kind of always feel like whenever I get these questions, it's always top 24. Just it sounds like a nice number where he's taken a step forward, and I have him over 25 in my rest of season rankings, but I had Monangai ahead of him. Swift is back, so I will make that change right now. So yes, Henderson, top 24 running back, rest of season.
Okay. Let's go to the next question here from Bam Bam. So I'll read these names as much as I can, but I might forget some of these. From Bam Bam, start Franklin or wait and see with Garrett Wilson, Goddard or Loveland, Goddard or Jauan Johnston. There's a few of these here. Let's take these one at a time, actually. So would you start Franklin or wait and see with Garrett Wilson? Wilson says he's playing. I would just wait and play Garrett Wilson.
Yeah, I think that's fine.
Goddard or Loveland?
Do we know what Cole Kmet is doing yet? Is he playing? Is he not playing? Oh, he had concussion last week. I think that matter. I think I'd probably just play Goddard. He's been pretty steady. So, although if Kmet's not playing,
I mean, you can wait and make that decision and see, and you could say if Komet's playing, then Goddard, and if Komet's not, then Loveland.
Yeah,
Is
let's
that
go.
okay?
I like that.
What about Goddard or Jauan Johnson?
Goddard.
And then how about pick one, Harvey, Marks, or Monangai? All are PPR.
Monangai.
Yeah, I go. But you're not buying into like touchdowns and pass catching work for Harvey.
I mean, if he's going to get it done on like 6 touches again, then it's going to be. I mean, I think Harvey's a high upside play, but I think Monangai is not going to just disappear.
I just like Swift was really producing before he got hurt. So if he's all the way back, like I don't want to just assume that Monangai was so good, like against a bad defense, that he's automatically going to have like a huge role. I'm not saying you should like drop him or anything. We love Monangai, but I worry about starting him if you have other good options. I'm not saying Harvey is another good option.
Yeah, I guess I'm just not like, oh, these are like such smash spots for these 2 other rookie running backs. I mean, Harvey's been obviously fantastic. He's just scoring a lot of touchdowns. I think the matchup is good against the Raiders. But I think the matchup is good for Monangai against the Giants.
By the way, Komet, full participant at practice today. Looks like he's playing. Shouts to Seth, our producer, dropping that in the chat for us.
Appreciate that.
All right, next question here. QB help. It's a 0.5 point per completion, 4 points per passing touchdown. Geno against Denver, which is a good defense, as noted here. Dylan Gabriel versus the Jets in some rain. Possibly now a bad D, likely now a bad D after the trades. Or Davis Mills versus Jacksonville, bad pass defense. This guy really needs quarterback help if these are his options.
Dude, I think I'm playing Dylan Gabriel. The Jets, their defense is terrible, and I get that Gabriel doesn't seem like he has like a huge ceiling, but neither of those other quarterbacks have huge ceilings.
But Gabriel would actually be my last choice because Geno, like, just throw it to Brock Bowers. He's down there somewhere, right? Mills, just throw it to Nico Collins. He's down there somewhere. Gabriel doesn't really have that. So I'd actually kind of lean towards the other two and just hope like Bowers has another blow up day and Geno's the beneficiary, or Nico has a big breakout and Mills is the beneficiary. I'd probably lean Geno, honestly, even though I don't love any of them, just because I think Bowers is the best pass catcher of the group.
I guess I feel good about Gabriel like distributing the ball to the playmakers. I mean, playmakers, I kind of say loosely, but Njoku is going to be upright. I believe I saw Fannin miss practice or something like that in the chat. So if Njoku is involved a lot, Judy, they're trying to get going. I mean, this is a moment where the Browns can look. The coaches come under fire where it's like, well, why couldn't you put up Joe Flacco numbers with the Browns here? Why is he doing so well with the Bengals? So I think maybe he takes that to heart. Is like, all right, Dylan Gabriel, we can take advantage of this bad Jets defense. Like, let's try to put up some points. So again, they're all bad options. I would lean towards Gabriel. I just like the Browns offense probably the most of those 3.
Yeah, I think I disagree with you, but they're all bad. Like you said, it's not like there's like a good choice in the option. So best of luck to you. Next question here. PPR start 1, Darnold or Nix, Harvey or Isaiah Davis. So first Darnold or Nix?
Nix and Harvey for me.
Nix and then Harvey on the other side. Okay.
Yeah.
I could see the case for Darnold. Davis? No. I was saying Darnold versus Nix. Darnold was so good last week. I know it was against Washington. But...
He's been. I just anytime he has one good game in primetime, I'm always like, Darnold is dealing. It just sounds just rolls off the tongue so great. He just was like unstoppable. And now he's got Shaheed. Oof. But I still like Nix a little bit more. He runs more, so it just gives him a higher floor. So I mean, Nix can play bad and then still have a top 10 fantasy outing, whereas Darnold has to throw for multiple touchdowns just because he's not adding his value as a rusher.
Yeah, Harvey's an easy call. Darnold versus Nix, I think, is closer, but I think it probably does need to be Nix at the end of the day.
And after Caleb Williams' 2-catch game last week, now we got to answer the quarterback PPR questions.
Yeah, exactly. From Anthony, much love, Fantasy Bros. Start 2 in PPR. Rachaad White, if Bucky sits. Again, we're going to assume that Bucky's sitting. Rachaad White, Travis Etienne, or Tyrone Tracy. So which of those guys are you not starting, Erickson?
I don't like Etienne's matchup that much. He's facing the Texans. It's a pretty tough matchup. But he's got a high floor with the receiving, especially with all the Jaguars receivers banged up. So it's probably just White and Etienne for me. So it's probably just going to be Tracy.
Yeah, I mean, Tracy, like, what do you think about Tracy? Because there was so much excitement, obviously, just of him as a pickup. Then let alone, like, I know Derek Brown was like really in on him as like a great start last week and said we kind of got the rug pulled out from under us by the Giants. Like, moving forward in general, is he somebody that you are trying to start, or are you trying to find other options?
So I still think he's a decent start. So I talked about this on the rank show. So it was kind of underreported, but he definitely got hurt last week. And there just was like no reporting about it. Like he limped off the field in the third quarter, and then you saw Devin Singletary rack up a ton of snaps and just kind of a handful of touches. So I think that the final snap numbers are kind of skewed towards Devin Singletary, and he's not on the injury report this week. So again, that's not to say that he's still not dealing with the shoulder injury that knocked him out earlier in the season and kind of like paved the path for Cam Scadaboo to like fully take over. So I'm not ready to bury Tracy yet. I would go back to him in some spots, but I think Etienne and White are still better alternative just because I think that we still could see Devin Singletary work in a little bit, and the matchup is good against the Chicago Bears.
If you guys want a chance to win one of the most unique pieces of NFL fan gear out there, the large NFLPA wall smack, courtesy of our good friends at TrophySmack, the #1 destination for epic fantasy football hardware, then this is your shot. Their oversized, officially licensed NFLPA wall smack are bold statement pieces that are perfect for your fan cave, office, or living room wall. It's not just decor. It's a way to rep your favorite players in style. To enter, all you need to do is subscribe to the Fantasy Pros YouTube channel right now. Drop a comment below on any of our videos. That is it. We will be announcing a winner right here on the channel, so make sure to turn on notifications so you don't miss your chance to claim this epic prize. All right, Erickson, we're a little over 10 minutes in. Reminder for everybody that 20 minutes is the mark where we are guaranteeing to answer super chat questions. Anything after that, we are going to do our absolute best, but not a 100% guarantee. So get those questions in now if you have them. Let's go to a question here from Hoodie. Start 2, Diggs, Dobbs, Gadsden, and then also Baker or May.
You always start Drake May. So
I was going to say, like, May, don't just, unless you have Lamar, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, it's not even a question. Just start Drake.
Yeah. You always start Drake May. And then you got
Diggs, Dobbs, and Gadsden. You got to sit one. Like, I kind of want to start Gadsden, even though he's the tight end, just as good as he's been. I mean, he's a top 3 tight end in consensus rankings this week. And it's been 4 straight weeks of like both floor and ceiling mixed in. So like, I think you kind of have to start him and just pick one of the receivers.
Yeah, I'm starting Diggs. Get the stack. Kayshon Bouttie's probably not going to play, so I think Diggs can finally maybe catch more than 1 touchdown because Boutie's not going to be scoring all the touchdowns this particular week. We know Drake May likes to spread the ball to a lot of his different receivers, but we know Tampa Bay is a pass funnel defense. They do everything to kind of stop. We're going to see a lot of passing yards in that game because it's 2 defenses that sell out to stop the run. So a lot of pass attempts from both sides. It's a high total. So I think that you'll see some fireworks in Tampa. So again, good options with Mayfield and May, but prefer May, and I like Diggs a lot. So.
Next question here. Hey, pros, PPR team of busts 2 and 7. Henry in lineup already and Lamb on bye. 1 running back, 2 receivers, and 1 flex out of this group. It's a lot of names, Erickson. You can see it on the screen. I'll read them through, though, just in case. Hall, Tracy, Henderson, Vidal, Monangai, Sutton, Brian Thomas Jr., Jacoby Myers. So we need 1 running back, 2 receivers, and then a flex.
So 1 running back. So I want to play Tracy. I want to play Henderson as my flex probably, and then the receivers. I'm not playing BTJ because he's injured. I'm not playing Jacoby Myers.
Well, it has to be Sutton and Myers. There's only 3 receiver options.
Oh no, we need more Sutton, wide receivers. Totus Magotis.
Yeah. So Sutton definitely, and then
Myers. You know, I guess BTJ plays. I guess you can play him, but I don't think that he's going to play this week. So yeah,
so then definitely picking 2 running backs, and you're going Tracy and Henderson. You're not playing Breece Hall.
Not against the Browns. No, I'm good.
Okay. That was actually the big fight that Fitz and Jake had specifically. Was
another
Breece
huge
Hall
fight.
Vidal. It was Breece Hall versus Kamani Vidal, and Jake literally was like, "Worm, why did you even have this as a question? It's obviously Breece Hall." And I was like, "They're back to back in ECR," and Fitz was like, "Yeah," and I'm picking Vidal, and then it escalated from there. Everybody should go watch that. It was great.
They might just both end up being bad. Like that feels like the vibes from. It's just gonna be like the answer was actually. Yeah. Zach Charbonnet.
Question from Marinda here. Howdy, pros. Howdy to Marinda. Full PPR. Would you trade Breece Hall for Jalen Warren straight up?
Yes, I would do that.
Yeah, I think they're
I want out of the Breece Hall business.
But would you have them pretty close in your rest of season rankings, or do you think that's an easy call?
Oh, I think that they're probably ranked
in ECR,
yeah. And I think that's why you can get the deal done. But I think that the schedule is much better for Jalen Warren rest of the season. Breece Hall has to face the Patriots twice in the second half of the season, and they're one of the best run defenses in the NFL. It's just tough matchups. Yeah. Tough matchup this week against the Browns, and we still don't even know who the Jets quarterback is. So,
yeah. All right, next question here. No PPR. Need 2 wide receivers, 1 flex, and to drop 1. AJ Brown, Garrett Wilson, Jameson Williams, Quentin Johnston, Dubs, Tet, Shaheed, Goddard. Also, pick up Isaiah Davis, Ty Johnson, or Ray Davis to stream. So starting off, just needed 2 wide receivers and a flex, and then to also drop 1.
So AJ Brown, you're starting him. Garrett Wilson, you're starting him if he's back, which seems like that he's trending in the right direction. I like JMO the most as like a flex play.
More than Tet?
It's no PPR. So
Okay. Yeah, good
like
point.
that really saps out the Tetra McMillan fantasy value, unfortunately. Yeah. And I'm sure that's why this person's asking, because I think in a half or full, you don't really think twice about it. But if he's not scoring touchdowns, then that is a big issue for McMillan. Whereas JMO, we know, is probably better in the standard format because he can get there on one house call play. So he would be the flex. And
got to drop 1
as a drop. You have to drop to pick up Isaiah Day. I guess I don't want to pick up any of those guys. I want to hold. James Cook returned to practice. So I don't think we're going to see Ty Johnson or Ray Davis get a significant workload. And I mean, Dobbs is a tough matchup this week, but I don't want to. He's the number 1 receiver on the Packers. So Goddard's a good tight end. I think I would just hold.
All right. Next question here from Ryan. Great name. Full PPR. RJ Harvey or Tyrone Tracy Jr. And then also Christian Watson or Quentin Johnston.
Tracy. And man, these Chargers receivers are.
I think I'd go Watson
against the Eagles. It's another tough. I guess I think I agree with you. I think that he just needs one big play, and I just the Chargers, man. I don't have a good read on this Chargers offense without Joe Alt against the Steelers, who have been a bad defense every single week.
It makes me really nervous. The Steelers can rush the passer. That's like the one part of their defense that I do have a little bit of faith in. Yeah. They got to go in this last week, 5 sacks. So, next question here from Christian. 2 running backs, 2 receivers, 1 flex. Judkins, Swift, Dowdle, Dobbins, Vidal, Monangai, AJ Brown, London, Keenan, and Franklin. 2 receivers are going to be London and AJ Brown.
Yeah, London, AJ Brown, Judkins, Dowdle, and Dobbins.
And then the flex. So who's the flex for you out of the rest?
Dobbins.
Okay. I think I agree with that. Like maybe if not for the Monangai breakout, you can make a case for Swift, I think. But yeah, I agree.
I mean, you wouldn't start Swift over Dowdle or Judkins.
No, I'm saying as the flex.
Yeah. But
you're right. I think Judkins and Dowdle are the easy one too.
Well, you're hesitant about Dobbins tonight?
I'm not hesitant. I'm just saying, like, I think you can make a case if not for that, but because there's the 2 of them.
Wrong case.
I know. Okay.
Just kidding.
All right. Next question here. Half PPR, pick 1 running back, 2 receivers, 1 flex. Kenneth Walker, Henderson, Adunze, Flowers, Jennings, Pearsall, Slayton. So 1 running back, 2 receivers, 1 flex out of those. Two receivers. Pearsall is not going to play. 2 receivers. I would just go Adunze, Flowers, and then the running back. It's either Walker or Henderson. Actually, honestly, I would just do Walker and then Henderson as the flex. So I would do the first 4 names listed would be the 4 I'd pick.
I agree. That's perfect.
Pick up for tight end Henry, Jauan, Theo, or Musgrave. I'd take a swing on Musgrave, honestly.
I like Hunter Henry. Booty.
Henry was the other one I'd pick in between. Not Jauan or Theo. I do Musgrave or Henry.
Yeah, I think Musgrave is good, especially because I want to see what it's like season long. I just don't know I just don't think he's Tucker Kraft, right? Like that's the thing. Like even if he's in that role, I don't think Luke Musgrave is going to average 10 yards after the catch, just because that's just how good Tucker Kraft was. But Jordan Love is an above average quarterback, but so is Drake May. So that's why I like Henry.
Next question here. Should I look to trade Sutton for another wide receiver? If so, who?
DK Metcalf? That would be a receiver that's probably valued pretty similarly
you could get that
to Sutton. Yeah. Got a good schedule rest of season. And Sutton just hasn't been like target share has been more flat this year with him and Troy Franklin. I mean, Franklin's really took a step forward in year 2. Now, last week it's really skewed because the Texans put Derek Stingley on Sutton. So those are always going to be tougher matchups. And Sutton's in a good spot tonight against the Raiders. But I think Metcalf's.
Would you maybe do Marvin Harrison Jr. with Jacoby Brissett?
Oh, yeah. 2 weeks? Yes. Maserati Marv. It's going to break out second half.
We are past the 20-minute mark. So officially speaking, no more super chats are going to be guaranteed to be responded again. We're going to do as much as we can. We're going to move really quickly here and try to get to all of them. So we will do the best we can, we promise, but we cannot guarantee them. There's just too many at this point. So we are at that 20-minute mark. No longer 100% guaranteed, but we will try as hard as I can. And we can. Not just me.
I'm just here for the ride.
I don't want to take all this credit here. Let's go to the next question here. And Erickson, let's start moving quickly just because we have a lot of super chats already in the queue. Traded Hall, Tet, Harvey for Rico, Sutton, Chuba. I guess they're wondering, if they won or not.
I think it's a pretty fair trade. I guess Rico probably has the most value, so I guess it's a win in that department. But yeah, I think it's fine.
I think it's ultimately pretty fair.
Yeah.
All right. Next question here. Who do I start for Dak? Rodgers, Williams, or Fields?
Williams.
Caleb Williams has 4 games this season where he's QB 10 or better, and 4 games where he's QB 20 or worse. He has not finished in the teens this season. So if you're going Caleb, it's riding the roller coaster.
I mean, roller coasters. Fields is either top 10 or outside the top 30. So that's a screamster roller coaster. But yeah, it's Caleb this week. Good matchup.
All right, next question here. Start, sit, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, 1 flex. Jacobs, Barkley, Vidal, Etienne at running back, and then Debo, Myers, Slayton at receiver. Rice and Chase are on bye, which is hurting him. So, okay. Do the receivers first because we're definitely not going to start one of them as flexes. So 2 receivers, it's probably Debo and Slayton, I guess. I don't want to start Myers in his first game there. So then we're picking 3 running backs because one of them will be the flex. Jacobs, Barkley, Vidal, Etienne. Basically, just which one of those are you sitting?
I mean, I don't mean to throw my hat to the Vidal. We're going to bury Vidal, but I guess there are some concerns with him. So I think the other guys are good options. So take those 3 instead of Vidal.
You're definitely not sitting Jacobs or Saquon, assuming Saquon is fine coming off the bye. So like Vidal is or Etienne, and I'd probably sit Vidal.
Yep. That's good.
All right. Next one here. Trade opinion. Garrett Wilson for Jamison Williams plus Aronde Gadsden.
If you need a starting tight end, I would do it. Which I assume that's why you're doing it. So yeah, I think this is a fair trade.
Yeah, I agree. I think that's fair enough. If you have the need a tight, like I wouldn't do it just for the sake of it, but like if you really do need a tight end, I think it's okay. Next one here. PPR pick 2 wide receiver and 1 flex. Marvin Harrison Jr., Quentin Johnston, DJ Moore, Alec Pierce, Troy Franklin, Jameson Williams. So basically just your favorite 3 of these. I think Marvin Harrison Jr. definitely just with Jacoby Brissett at quarterback, at least in my opinion. And then you're picking 2 of the others.
Pierce and JMO. Let's go with those guys.
Pierce is great against single high coverage, and the Falcons play more single high than any team in football. Debro had that note. I'm stealing that from him, but that's a very strong, plus in favor of Alec Pierce. Next one here, PPR, Rachaad White, Chris Olave, or Jamison Williams?
Rachaad White.
Yeah, I agree. Next one from Malik. Should I trade Marvin Harrison Jr. for Roma Dunze? It's full PPR. He has Rasheed and CD. Thinking about rest of season. I would. I think that's really tough. I genuinely don't know who's going to be better rest of season. That's a really
this one is like shooting your shot, right? You're like, oh, I'm going Marvin. I mean, dude, I'm for it, man. Like, I think it's razor close, and you may look like a genius next week, and then look like an idiot the next week after that. But I would say week 17, the Cardinals play the Bengals. And if that's all that matters and who scores more in week 17, then you're going to win this trade. So do it. Let's go. Shoot your shot in the league.
That's a great question. Because that is a tough one. I really like that. Next question here.
Yeah.
7-2 standard league. Lost Tucker Kraft, which stinks. Erickson and I are big Kraft fans like everybody else. Tried getting Gadsden for Jordan Mason, got countered with Kenneth Walker. Should I offer TreVeyon with Hampton, hopefully back from IR in time for the playoffs, or should I hold and stream tight end rest of season?
I think if you need to, I don't want to, Walker, I think Walker's fair. I don't want to trade Henderson either, but what do you think? You need a tight end, right?
Yeah, I think that here's what I wouldn't do. I wouldn't operate under the assumption that Marion Hampton is going to be back in time for the playoffs. It could totally happen, but I do not want to make decisions based on and not only that he'll be back, but that he'll be good and ready to be at the level he was before he got hurt. I think that's a dangerous game. So whatever decision you make, I would assume that Hampton is gravy, not a guy that you are 100% getting back in time for the play. Hopefully you do. That's the dream, right? But I think if you really need tight end, I would be okay with offering, Walker or TreVeyon. Honestly, I'd be okay with that. Time to let everybody know about the Start Sit Assistant. You can say goodbye to Start Sit dilemmas with FantasyPros Start Sit Assistant. Within seconds, you'll know exactly who to play for optimal results each and every week. Leveraging insights from numerous experts, the Start Sit Assistant aligns your lineup decisions with the top minds in fantasy football, giving you a competitive edge. Maximize your lineup's potential with just a few clicks. Head to fantasypros.com/myplaybook or download the Fantasy Pros app and make winning decisions in no time. All right, Erickson, let's get to our next question here. Rest of season, Bill Merritt or David Montgomery?
Just Dave Montgomery at this point, right?
Easy David Montgomery for
No,
me.
yeah.
Easy.
Commanders.
I've been fading Bill, I feel like, for weeks on every show I do with people. I'm like, why are we talking about this guy as a clear start? He's had one good game since week 1, and that was back in week 5 at this point. And it would not surprise me if Washington just completely gave up on the season with the Daniels injury. Like, the fans are ready to give up on this year. It's a lost season in Washington. This is David Montgomery by a wide margin for me. So we agree there. PPR, trade Egbuka for Javonte Williams and Roma Dunze. I would do this, yes, if you have a need at running back.
Yeah. It's a good trade.
Yeah.
I like both sides.
Next one here. Half PPR, Herbert or May? Just quickly, who do you like out of those?
Drake May.
I mean, they're both good, obviously, but go with May. And then running back, Dowdle, Swift, Hubbard, Singletary, pick 2. I think Dowdle and Swift, assuming Swift plays. If Swift doesn't play, Dowdle and Singletary. I wouldn't want to start both Panthers running backs, I don't think.
I would not want to either. So it would be Dowdle and Swift.
Okay, and then she has Kittle as a flex. Keep him or switch with one of the running backs or Tez Johnson.
I think I'd probably just play. We know Kittle has a lot of upside too, although the volume hasn't really been there for him. We also haven't seen like a monster game from him with Mac Jones. I know he's only played a handful of games. I think I would just play Swift. Honestly, just play 3 running backs. Or do you hedge a little bit if you're worried about Dowdle come off this injury with Hubbard? Like, no, I don't want to hedge. That's lame.
I don't want to.
What am I doing here?
Yeah. But by the way, Erickson, I don't know if you can see, we're chatting you privately. I'm just gonna pull back the curtain here for everybody. Your internet is pretty shaky right here, so you might want to check the chat. Our producer's trying to get your attention here. While I read the next question, I'll let you read that. 6-3, 10-man full PPR has Dart, JJ, Egbuka, Olave, Brian Thomas Jr., Quentin Johnston, Franklin, Etienne, Rico, Kamara, Isaiah Davis, Algier, and Loveland. Lost Kraft. Who of these guys is movable to upgrade running back and tight end? So I will kind of address this first while Erickson maybe takes a look at his internet settings here. I think when you're looking to upgrade, the important thing from a macro level when you are trying to make a trade because you've lost a player is to not get hit at 2 spots, right? Like right now, you've taken this huge hit at tight end. I would be cognizant of not taking this huge hit somewhere else now also. I think the clear choice here would be to try to move one of these receivers if you can, because that's where you have a bit more depth. The other thing I would say, though, Loveland could be a second half breakout. Rookie pass catchers often do this in the second half of the year. We might have just seen it now. It was against the Bengals. Obviously, his game looks a lot better because he has this 50-yard touchdown where he's breaking a bunch of tackles late in the game to win it. Like, kind of a unique situation, but it should not shock anybody if Colston Loveland, as a top 10 overall pick in the draft, talented receiving tight end, becomes a very viable replacement, and then in which case you will have not wanted to trade anybody. So I would just keep that in the back of your mind of not overreacting to the injury, and also the fact that you have a guy like Loveland where there is real upside there. I would be interested in seeing how that plays out before making a panic move. Erickson, what do you think?
Just getting caught up on this exact question as I was addressing the internet issue. Appreciate Seth with the shout out there, trying to get my internet fixed. So I apologize for the lagginess. Don't try to lag for the people. I want to be not lagging, of course. I know that you talked about Loveland as one of the options to move up to upgrade tight end, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, just saying that Loveland is an option, like, yeah, you don't need to maybe even necessarily upgrade.
Yeah, I would say another option that you could look at too is Kyle Pitts, right? He's been more involved with the Falcons offense this year. He's actually 3rd in the NFL in tight end receptions. It's crazy to think about, but that's actually a true stat. Schedule rest of the season pretty good. Darnold Moody's not been really a main factor in this offense. So I think that Pitts, if he's on someone's bench as a tight end too, maybe he's another guy that you can try and target. I know I've sent a couple of Pitts offers with some of my Tucker Craft teams or former Tucker Craft teams.
By the way, 10 minutes ago, we did officially close off the super chats. You can still send them if you want. We are going to try and get through as many as we can, but we have a ton of them in. So we are not guaranteeing any of those getting answered. 10 minutes ago was the cutoff for there. It's usually the first 20 minutes of the stream. We're still going to prioritize them, get through as many as we possibly can, but just wanted to remind everybody about that because we have so many here. Next question. How do y'all half PPR needs RB2 and flex between Etienne, Olave, Hall, and Tyler Warren? Also, would you start Daniel Jones or Sam Darnold? I would actually, I think, start Darnold, even though Jones has been great this year. I think Darnold's been awesome. Jones going up against Falcons defense, which has had good moments this year. Also, just the fact that Jones is in London, I'd just rather start the guy that's been playing well anyway. But then Etienne, Olave, Hall, and Tyler Warren need 2 of those.
So definitely Etienne. I feel like Olave's got a decent. It's probably just Olave for me.
The connection between Olave and Shuck maybe not great, but like also who else is he going to throw to?
Yeah, I mean Olave's got a really high floor. The ceiling's probably not there for him. Tyler Warren's got a tougher matchup. Actually, I don't know. I feel like if you're playing the ceiling play, I feel like it's still Tyler. Isn't it Tyler Warren? Like he's actually going to be like he might actually sniff the end zone. Which
I think ceiling play is probably the 2 running backs. I think it's Etienne and Hall. Hall just has a low floor. I think this week.
I want to play the best players, and I think it's Tyler Warren. So I'll go Etienne and Tyler Warren. And Daniel's playing in Germany, not London. Worm, come on.
Oh, sorry. I was just London is a catch-all for Europe.
No,
you're right. No, good correction.
no, it's fine.
All right, so Erickson, you might step away to try to fix this internet for a second, so I'll keep running through these super chats while you do that. All right, so appreciate everybody. Me and the blank screen, we're having some fun here. This from Julie. Need 2 running backs, wide receiver, and 1 flex. Collins, Pittman, Allen, Kyron, Rico, Monangai, and Dobbins. I would go with Nico Collins, even with CJ Stroud missing the game with a concussion. And, obviously Pittman has been good this season. He was fine in the game against the Steelers, but a down game for the offense in general. So I'd probably lean Nico there. Of the 2 running backs, I just start Kyron. Like, don't even overthink about it. And Rico at this point, don't really overthink about it. And then that flex, I think you're picking between Pittman and Monangai or Dobbins. I would lean Dobbins of those 3. I could see the case for Pittman. Erickson, now that you're back, we're answering this question from Julie. I said I would start Collins as the receiver, Kyron and Rico as the running backs, but then you're picking between Pittman, Monangai, Dobbins for flex, and I lean Dobbins.
I agree. Am I laggy?
Beautiful.
Am I good? Am I better? Do I sound okay?
Well,
I look okay.
We'll see how it lasts, but you're good for now.
Okay.
We don't even need you though, because you agreed with what I said anyway, so you can just take the rest of the stream off. Question from Colton. Huge fan. Thanks, Quentin. We appreciate it. Full PPR. Need 2 receivers and a flex. Nico Collins, Wan'Dale Robinson, Rome Odunze, Torrey Horton, Jameson Williams, Rashid Shaheed, Ja'Cory Krusky, Merritt, Blake Corum, and then at tight end, Warren or Gadsden. 2 good options at tight end. Quickly, just on the tight end, who would you start, Warren or Gadsden? I think I'd go Gadsden, honestly, but I'd be fine with either.
Warren for me.
Warren for you. I think either is totally fair. But then 2 wide receivers and a flex. Again, Nico, Wan'Dale, Rome Odunze, Torrey Horton, Jameson Williams, Rashid Shaheed, JCM, and Blake Corum. I think I'd just go Nico, Odunze, and Jameson Williams. Probably be my picks.
I think I'd probably lean towards Wan'Dale and full PPR.
Full PPR, yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, instead of Jameson, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. Next question here from Dinesh. Pick one. Booty, Tucker, Alec Pierce, Tracy, Mason, Amari DiMercado.
Pierce and Tracy.
Agreed. Pierce, I think, is a really good play this week. We talked about it a little bit earlier. I would definitely start Pierce. Next question here. Dobbins or Monangai? And then does this change depending on Swift?
I think Swift's going to...
Without Swift, start Monangai.
Yeah.
But the problem is we don't know because Dobbins is playing tonight. I
would just play Dobbins. I mean, Dobbins is a good matchup for him, right? I think he finally actually might score a touchdown. I mean, RJ Harvey's stolen all the touchdowns the last couple of weeks. I think Dobbins is a really strong.
No, you're right. I would start Dobbins and just don't risk it on Swift.
He's strong enough a play where I don't feel like, oh my God, I'm going to regret playing him. I think that he's in a good spot. So just play him.
That's fair. All right, next one here. Bo Nix or Darnold this week? Also, who do you like rest of the season between Kittle and Ferguson? And would you trade one for AJ Brown? I would trade Ferguson for AJ Brown if I could. I like Kittle better, but I would trade Ferguson for AJ Brown if possible. For this week, Bo Nix or Darnold, that's we actually didn't we answer that question already? And you said Nix?
Yes, I said Nix. Yeah, we had a similar question someone asked, but I would go Bo.
Okay, would you trade Ferguson for AJ Brown?
I think I'd trade Ferguson for a different wide receiver.
Okay.
But I think that's a fair trade. If you need a wide receiver.
Next question here. Start, sit, Waddle or Pierce? As much as I like Pierce, I think you do have to just go with Waddle. 10-team PPR need this win. Or do you disagree? Like the matchup is great for Pierce, but I think you have to go Waddle.
Waddle's been really, really good without
Hill.
Like he's got one bad game.
As much as I love Pierce, you can't get away from Waddle. He's been good and full PPR. Yeah.
We're just posers. We love Pierce, but not like that.
Picked him a couple other times. We're not posers. I do need to take a minute before we get back to the super chats to tell everybody that today's show is brought to you by our new presenting sponsor. That's Hard Rock Bet. If you're listening to this podcast, you're probably deep in the stats, injury reports, and matchups. On Hard Rock Bet, you can put your fantasy football knowledge to the test. Try your first bet on Hard Rock Bet today. Just place a $5 bet, and if it hits, you get not only your winnings, but $150 in extra bonus bets. And if you're looking for an edge before you lock in, check out the Hard Rock Bet Stats Hub. It's loaded with trends, streaks, and stats to help guide your picks. Numbers don't lie, and neither does the data in there. Check out the Stats Hub now. Get the edge and bet with confidence. The Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook app is the only legal sportsbook for whenever you're in Florida. It's also live in Arizona, Ohio, New Jersey, Indiana, Tennessee, Virginia, Illinois, and Colorado. Coming soon to more states too. Plus, Hard Rock Bet offers new promos every single day. So whenever you're listening, just open the app and check out what you've got any day of the week. Download the Hard Rock Bet app and make your first deposit. Okay, Erickson, next question here. PPR, down bad with the buys. Watson or Parker Washington?
Washington.
Even with Jacoby Myers, coming over?
I mean, he's been with the team for what? A week?
That's fair. I just asking the question. Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence trusts Parker Washington, which you can't say for most of the Jaguars wide receivers. So
would you be selling the Bears rookies?
I think that it makes sense to entertain Monangai as a sell high, but it depends on what the return is. If it's, a bag of balls, probably not. But if someone's willing to overpay, I mean, you could flip Monangai for TreVeyon Henderson right now. Yeah, I would do that. Well,
the next part of the question is TreVeyon a good buy low?
Oh, there you go. Yes, Pierre. There you go.
Almost like you do this professionally.
Wow. It was laid out there, right? A silver platter for me.
Erickson actually picked TreVeyon Henderson as his number one buy low running back on our Tuesday buys and sells show. So you check it out. We talked about it a bit more there, but yes, Henderson, a good buy low. Next question here. Full PPR guillotine. Ooh, I love a guillotine question. Flex. Odunze, Olave, Garrett Wilson, Wan'Dale Robinson, Walker, or Monangai. Already has JSN, JJ, London for wide receiver, and Dowdle and Hall at running back. So picking, I think, just one flex here. Doesn't say multiple. So Odunze, Olave, Garrett Wilson, Walker, Monangai, Wan'Dale.
Probably just going to play.
I actually think I like Garrett Wilson best.
You want to play a guy coming off a knee injury in a guillotine league?
I think yes. I mean, do you want to play a guy coming off a 0-catch game in a guillotine league?
I didn't say Odunze
quarterback in a guillotine.
I mean, maybe it's Wan'Dale then. I mean, he's locked into his targets. He's got a good quarterback. He's got a good matchup, and it's full PPR. So again, if we're taking the context of guillotine, I think maybe it's Wan'Dale.
I'll say this: I think Swift is going to play. If Swift doesn't play, Monangai does. Play Monangai. Don't overthink it. If not, I'd probably go Garrett Wilson, honestly, but I get wanting to look elsewhere if you're worried about the knee injury. So you're going Wan'Dale?
I guess for guillotine. I mean, yeah, if you got to play for the floor, which is like not how I usually want to play, because it would just be Odunze that you would just start. But I mean, he's been really boomer bust.
Fitz says Garrett Wilson as wide receiver 10 this week, by the way. So he's pretty high on him.
Flex.
Monangai, Tracy, Parker Washington, or Kincaid in the flex spot. Definitely Monangai if Swift doesn't play. I just want to say that as kind of like a blanket statement for me. But assuming that's not the case, who would you start?
Tracy.
I agree. I like Kincaid a lot, but I can't do him over those other names as a tight end. Next question here. Traded Rico, Herbert, Ladd for JJ, Devontae Smith, and Dak. He also has Drake May, Bijan, Etienne, and Rome, JSN, and Tet. So what do we think of this trade? Rico, Herbert, and Ladd for Justin Jefferson, Devontae Smith, and Dak. Downgrade at quarterback, but this is, you have May anyway. Lad for Devontae Smith, maybe a downgrade. And then Rico for Justin Jefferson, probably an upgrade, unless you were like dying at running back, which he's not because he's Bijan and Etienne. I think it's a good trade. I think it's fair.
Yeah, I think it's a fair trade too.
Yeah, Jefferson. I mean, we'll see what happens with JJ McCarthy rest of the season, but I think it's a good trade. Next question here. Superflex, full PPR, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, 1 flex. Rico, White, Monangai, London, Shakir, Pierce, Quentin Johnston, Trey Tucker, Slayton. Also dropped Purdy for Bryce, but could get Tua. This is Superflex.
Hey, so there's a bunch of quarterbacks on the waiver wire in Superflex. I think I'd rather hold on to Purdy. I mean, you already dropped him. So, I mean, if he's injured, then he can't really serve you any purpose. So if you need a warm body at quarterback, I get Bryce. I mean, Bryce matchup's pretty good this week if they decide to throw the ball with the Saints. So he should at least be efficient this week. Just don't know what the touchdowns are going to look like for him. So I think that's fine. Tua is just too inconsistent to trust. Rico, you're going to start. White, you're going to start. London, you're going to start. And then another receiver, you're probably going to start.
I'd go Pierce as the other receiver.
Pierce.
And then Monangai as the flex would be my call.
Yeah, that works.
All right.
Bango.
Awesome, Dev. Next question here. With Jake Ferguson in a bye week, should I start Theo Johnson or Evan Ingram? Yikes.
Theo Johnson. If Jackson Dart's going to be QB3 in ECR, he's probably going to throw a touchdown to Theo Johnson. That's that's my logic behind Theo Johnson.
Yeah. Next question here. Full point PPR. Bijan, Bucky, New England running backs. Should you drop one for White?
Yeah, drop Stevenson.
Can you put Stevenson on IR for White?
Yeah.
Hold on to him too?
I mean,
but you would full on drop him if needed.
Is Bucky coming back? I mean, would I rather have both Buccaneers running backs or both Patriots running backs?
What's a more confusing injury situation? Bucky Irving or Ricky Pearsall?
What about Joe Mixon? He's coming back.
No, Joe Mixon's not confusing. Forget about him. He's cooked. He's absolutely washed.
They won't tell us that, like, we don't know.
They don't need to. We can tell. PPR can only start 2: Sutton, Pittman, or Tetaroa McMillan.
Sutton and Pittman.
In full PPR, I would like to find a way to start Tet. I might start him over Sutton, actually. I think Pittman I'm definitely starting. But then I think I'd go Tet. Next question here from Spencer. Start Bam Knight or drop him for Devin Singletary.
I wouldn't start Bam Knight this week. Brutal matchup. Trey Benson should be coming back soon. I think that it's going to evaporate.
I'd be comfortable dropping him for Singletary.
So, yeah, drop Singletary. See if this, it's possible this usage does translate for Singletary and maybe he's the lead back again. It's possible.
Yeah. Starting Egbuka JSN, would you flex Flowers or Sutton?
Well, you hate Flowers, but
he's not going to score a touchdown. It's like, and so you're limiting your ceiling.
Lamar's going to throw 4 touchdowns every week and never to Zay Flowers.
I mean, this is year 3 of Zay Flowers' career. How much more do we need to see that they don't want to use him there? Like, I feel like I'm taking crazy pills and people, it could be a league winner. I'm like, I'm so sure a guy with 4 touchdowns is going to be a league winner. Zay Flowers is one of my favorite players. I adore him. I'm a Ravens fan, but he's not.
Okay, so is it so? But you also didn't seem like you were the highest on Sutton. So
no, but I would start Sutton over Flowers. I think Sutton has a better chance of getting a touchdown.
That's fair. I agree.
Zay
Flowers has a 0% chance.
Get me riled up. I bet Zay Flowers has a hat trick this weekend. Now that I have said that,
bury the man.
Yeah, would you drop Andrews for Loveland? I would not. I would be starting Loveland high right now, but I would rather the ceiling. I think is still there. If remember Lamar has missed a lot of this season. Slow start. I think there's every chance that Andrews could catch 8 touchdowns the rest of the way. I think that is actually on the table. So I would not drop. I would like to pick up Loveland and have them both on the roster if there's another guy you can drop, but I would not drop Andrews for him, truthfully.
Yeah, Andrews, I believe, does he have 2 Bengals matchups?
Yes, they have not played the Bengals yet.
Yeah, see,
and he might just week 18, so they're both in the fantasy season.
So just that alone is might be worth it.
Again, we saw this last year. Second half, Andrews caught touchdowns every week. Loveland did it 1 game. I think it's too soon to drop Andrews for him. Starting Gadsden over Tyler Warren because of matchups. Is it crazy to flex Alec Pierce and bench Tyler Warren? No room at receiver because of the other guys he has. I don't think it's crazy. I don't think I would do it. I do think I would start Warren over Pierce, but I don't think it's crazy if you want to buy into the single high matchup coverage stuff that I referenced earlier that Debro talks about a ton, because that does really play into Alec Pierce's favor.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think I'd sit Warren in this spot here. Again, if you're already doing Gadsden over Warren, I think that's really close. And look, we do the matchups things for a reason, right? If we're going to do all this work and then just ignore it, then like, what's the point? So if the matchup says for against the Falcons, you want to play a guy like Pierce and
I'm
not
okay
Tyler Warren, then let's embrace it. And if we're wrong, then hey, trust the process. Sometimes you'll be wrong. So it's football. Weird stuff happens, but I think Pierce is the move. So let's go.
One last reminder, since we have 15 minutes left, that the Super Chats guarantee is up. We will not be guaranteeing to get to all of them. We are, again, going to go through as many as we can here in the next 15 minutes. We are still guaranteeing, of course, that we get to the ones from the first 20 minutes that came in, but we are not guaranteeing any more that come in. So just as a reminder for everybody who maybe joined the stream late. Okay, next question here from Beast Mode. Traded Tyrone, McMillan, and Harvey for Javonte. I assume Javonte Williams, not Jameson. What do you think about that trade? I like it for sure. Start Shakir or AJ Brown in flex this week in PPR. I would just go AJ Brown.
Yeah, I mean, if AJ Brown's healthy, you got to just playing him no matter what.
Like I don't have the stones, the cojones to get away from it. So yeah, that's what I would do. From Dylan, trade Jacobs and Rome for Saquon and Nico. That's an interesting one.
I'm going to say no. I don't like this Texans. I don't want Texans. It's just not been good for them this year. I think I'm
going to also say no, which surprises me based on how I felt, before the year. But I will also say no. I'd rather have Jacobs and Rome.
It's been bad.
Next question here. Full PPR flex. Kenneth Walker, Troy Franklin, Trey Tucker. Also traded Loveland for Bill Merritt. Needed running back depth and already have McBride. Good move. I don't love Bill Merritt, but I totally fine trading Loveland if you really needed running back help since you already had McBride, especially since McBride's going to actually catch touchdowns with Jacoby Brissett. But what about this one? Walker, Franklin, or Tucker? I feel like it's just Walker and don't overthink it, Erickson, or would you go Franklin?
No, I like Walker here. His usage was pretty good last week. And I would say, like, with Bill Krosky Merritt, maybe you make another move. Again, Bill Krosky Merritt has a couple of good matchups rest of the season, but without Daniels, like, what does that really matter? You flip Krosky Merritt for Tyrone Tracy. Can you do that? I think you could. So if you're off the Bill train, get on the Tyrone Tracy train because he was also a disappointment last week too. So maybe that's a pivot you can do.
Next one here. Full PPR, Monangai, Vidal, TreVeyon, Henderson, Judkins, Quentin, Johnston. Start 2.
Judkins and Monangai. Actually, I mean, if Ramondre doesn't play, actually, no, I think I'm doing Henderson then. Yeah, Henderson and Judkins. Give me the Ohio State guys.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Actually, I agree.
Go Buckeyes.
I would switch to Monangai again. I keep saying this if Swift is out. Again, I don't expect that to be the case, but just as a caveat. Then how about Jones or Darnold this week? I would actually go Darnold as good as Jones has been.
Yeah, I still like Daniel Jones. I think he offers a little bit more rushing juice, and the Colts offense, I think, is going to get back on track this week.
Gadsden or Loveland?
Gadsden.
I mean, as good as Loveland was, Gadsden. And then Jones or Flacco rest of season. It's Jones.
Yeah, but I mean, Flacco's schedule is fantastic.
There's no more fun story in the NFL than Flacco, but it's Jones.
It's freaking sick. Sick.
It gives me hope for my 40s one day. 2 leagues, PPR, Knicks or Caleb Williams.
Well, it's PPR, and Caleb Williams is a machine at PPR, so got to go Caleb.
That's the tiebreaker. Need 2 flex as well. Marvin Harrison Jr., Charbonnet, Trey Tucker, Harvey. Definitely Marvin Harrison Jr.
And Harvey.
Yeah, I'd go Harvey too. I agree. One running back and 1 flex in the other league. Monangai, Harvey, Isaiah Davis, Henderson, Gadsden. So 1 running back and 1 flex. Running back, I would just go. Well,
I'd go Monangai and Henderson.
Yeah, and not Gadsden at flex over either of them.
No, I like the running backs.
Okay. Next question here. Need 2 wide receivers, half PPR. Have Waddle, McMillan, and Brown play Monangai and flex, or just play all 3 receivers?
I think I'd play Monangai over McMillan.
Even if Swift plays?
Yeah.
Okay. I think I agree with you. I just worry that Monangai's not going to get a lot of work, but it's a good matchup, so I think he'll get something. Yeah, I'd go Monangai. You're right. I shouldn't have doubted you. Next question here. Full PPR, start 1, Henderson, Mason, Monangai.
Henderson.
A lot of Monangai questions, which I'm not surprised by, I guess, but that's probably been the name that had to come up the most on the show, I think. Next question here, start Henderson or Woody, since Chubb is probably out.
Henderson.
Yeah, because Rachaad.
Because Stevenson's probably going to be out too. Yeah.
Exactly. Next one. Trade Rico Dowdle for Kincaid and Henderson. Lost Kraft and had no backup. Players available on waivers instead could be Jauan, Johnson, Mason, Taylor.
No, this is a great trade, Edward. Love it.
I like this trade a lot. I think it's fair for both sides. I think it's a really good trade. I like it a lot.
I love when I see trades that are even on both sides, help both teams. Fair. Great job.
I think that is a totally great trade. I totally agree. Howdy, boys. Start Love or Fields?
Yeah. So I've moved Fields down my ranking since the ranking show when Fitz scared me into, well, we don't even know if Fields is going to play the whole game, which is very much true. So I think you got to play Love.
Plus, you could see the Philly Green Bay game being a shootout. And
true. I was concerned that he doesn't have Tucker Kraft. I'm like, oh, man, this is best.
I know. I hate it. Is probably the most. That and Scattermooth is too.
But at least I can bet on Love playing 4 quarters, or at least 3 quarters.
Yeah. From Joseph, Knicks or Stafford? I don't know how you get away from Stafford. Honestly, I know he doesn't.
You're talking about Darnold on a heater. Stafford's been insane. Is on a freaking nuclear heater. Yeah, I would play Stafford.
For the last 5 weeks, he's been a top 8 quarterback.
He just throws like 7 touchdowns every single week.
I know. He for the last 5 weeks, he has 3+ touchdowns. I mean, and 2 of them he has 300 passing yards, and one of them he has 280 passing yards.
Yeah, I mean, they're playing the 49ers, who don't have anyone left on defense, so I play Stafford.
Yeah, I would go Stafford as well. RJ, Harvey, or Dobbins tonight? You have to do Dobbins.
Dobbins. It's funny though, because RJ Harvey's probably been the right choice the last 3 weeks because he keeps scoring so many touchdowns.
Yeah, process over results though. From Ruben, need a flex spot, full PPR. Troy Franklin, Nico Collins, or Ashton Genty. Yeah, just do Genty. Don't overthink it. 10-team PPR. Start 1. Tedero, McMillan, Romeo Doubs, Khalil Shakir. I would go Ted.
Yeah, McMillan.
In PPR for sure. Full PPR, Gadsden or Njoku?
Gadsden. I think that Dev is asking because I think Fannin was on the injury report. So that makes Njoku
but that's not enough for him to get over Gadsden.
Right. Yeah. But that Njoku is going to be going up my ranking significantly.
Yeah, it's a good point to explain why it's a reasonable question. Yeah, that's fair. And then defense, Seattle or Carolina?
Carolina.
I tend to chase matchups. I just think Seattle's defense is really good.
That's also. I think for me, it's like from a roster standpoint, why do you want to roster 2D? I mean, you're just going to roll with Seattle every week, right? So I don't know what the roster looks like, but if I have to pick up the Panthers, I don't want to waste another roster space on them. So just play the Seahawks.
Yes, I agree with that. For some reason, the roster is set up such that it makes sense to have 2. Then I'm okay with playing Carolina, but I wouldn't drop Seattle for him.
Yeah, exactly.
PPR, pick 2, Monangai, Etienne, Kenneth Walker.
No, pick 2. Man. Yeah, so this is where Monangai becomes like an actual like headache because you're like you want to start him, but then is it over these guys that you start him? So
here's what I'll say. I am sitting Kenneth Walker of these 3 if Swift is out, because then it's easy.
Well, okay. Yeah. So
I'm starting Etienne. I'm starting Etienne. And I'm picking between Monangai and Walker. If Swift plays, I'm probably playing Walker. If Swift doesn't play, I'm playing Monangai. That's my approach.
All right, works for me because I'm not bullish either way. So because I think it's tight between those 3. So let's go with your approach.
Alec, Pierce, Dobbs, or Quentin Johnston need 2. I would start Pierce for sure. I'd probably do Pierce and Dobbs. With no Kraft, ball's got to go somewhere in Green Bay, and then Pierce. We've talked about the matchup. So do you agree?
Yeah, I agree.
All right. Next one here. Drop Hunter or Evans if needed. For who?
I would drop Mike Evans. And I guess for who it depends on like what your roster needs.
Yeah, it's hard to know who's out there.
Like, are you looking for a stash? Is that the Kyle Williams Patriots?
Rookie receiver? Guy I took in every 3rd round of.
Dude, Kayshon Bouttie's out, man.
Yeah,
you could see a bigger role this week, dude. Don't be surprised if you see Kyle Williams breakout game against the Bucks.
Trade Jonathan Taylor for Barkley and Egbuka.
Dude, I'm not trading Jonathan Taylor. I'm sorry, I just can't do it.
I think it's fair value.
I'm not trading him after one bad game.
Can't get rid of Taylor. I do think it's fair value. Like it is actually a reasonable trade, but I still couldn't bring myself to do it.
No, I don't want to trade the guys that are having like those special seasons.
Yeah, like this right now, this would be looked back on in the future as the Jonathan Taylor season. Maybe that changes the last 2 months of the year, but like this is in fantasy, this is the Jonathan Taylor year. I don't want to get rid of that guy when it's his year.
Yeah,
it's either the Jonathan Taylor year or the Drake May year.
Oh, I mean, the JSN year is, I think, actually
he's in the running too. It's also gonna be the Kyle Monangai year. I'll tell you that right now. All right, pick 3, PPR, Jameson Williams, Troy Franklin, Trey Tucker, Devin Singletary, Christian Watson. Again, we need 3 of these in PPR.
Franklin, Jameson, and Trey Tucker.
I would go Franklin, Jameson, and I think Christian Watson, actually. I just really like what I've seen from Watson coming back.
No,
But
that's fair.
strong agree on Franklin and Jameson, and then the other one I feel less about, but I would do Christian Watson.
Actually, I'll change my answer. Let's go Christian Watson.
Nailed it. Yes. Next question here. 1 running back, 1 receiver, 1 flex. PPR. Jennings, Rachaad, QJ, or Monty? I think Rachaad has to be the running back.
Monty and
out.
Jennings.
Montgomery as flex, and then Jennings as receiver. Yep, I agree. Next question here. PPR start 2. Walker, Monangai, Tracy, Harvey, Mason. I think just
first 3. Start the first 3.
No, you have to start 2 though. Oh my god. That's why I paused. I was about to say the exact same thing.
All right. Crossing off Harvey and Mason. Although Aaron Jones is banged up too.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
Monster. Okay. Man, these are
crossing off Harvey
questions. I really need to figure out what my Monangai stance is going to be this week.
I know. I think I go Walker and Monangai, and that'd be my 2. I'd go Walker and Monangai.
That's fine.
Lock it in.
Maybe I'm just going to default by the way that they put it in the chat. This is like you put it in this order for a reason because this is how your lineup is set right now. If Monangai's in your starting lineup, you're not taking him out. Just leave him in there. There you go.
In Superflex PPR, hurting at running back, have Love, Dak, Brissett, and Mills. Running backs are Charbonnet, Vidal. Would you trade Brissett for White?
Rachaad White? Yeah.
I assume, yeah.
Yeah, Brissett's an
even in Superflex?
Oof. I mean, if he's a guy you got like for free, like if you just picked him up and you're able to flip him for like an actual running back asset, especially considering your running backs.
I think I do like Brissett, but you're not starting him over Love and Dak. So it's basically he's there to protect against an injury. I know there's a bye week this week for Dak, but he's basically there to protect against an injury.
Yeah.
So,
but I guess it's like if Dak goes down in your Superflex league, like you're probably not gonna win anyway.
Like a viable fill-in. Honestly, he's looked decent. I think I would make the trade though. I would not play scared. I would make the trade and get White because who knows what's happening with Bucky and it's PPR. So
yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. Who can I get for AJ Brown in a trade?
Did I mention anybody when I talked about AJ Brown earlier this week? I'm trying to. I think Metcalf was maybe someone that I threw out. Egbuka, maybe AJ Brown plus to get Egbuka coming off. Some down games in a bye week, not top of mind.
Garrett Wilson is next to him in ECR.
Yeah, Garrett Wilson has a really good schedule.
Coming off injury, manager might be willing to move him possibly.
Yeah, I think Wilson could be a good guy to.
Roma Dunze coming off a terrible game.
Odunze. Oh, this was the one. Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah, with Brissett now.
Maserati, baby. Dude, it's like just because of it never worked with Kyler, it's just so obviously gonna work with Jacoby now. Like it's just like the prophecy. It's like Kyler's out, Jacoby's the guy that unleashed. Dude, it's gonna be the second year in a row that a Patriots backup quarterback unlocks a receiver with Junior in their name. Last year, Brian Thomas, Mac Jones. This year, Jacoby Brissett, Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah. Eric, so we've gotten through all of our guaranteed super chats. A lot of these are really short. Let's do no thought, just give an answer on these and speed through them. First one here, Breece Hall or White if Bucky is out?
White.
Next one, RJ Harvey, Alec Pierce or Etienne?
Etienne.
Next one, JJ McCarthy or Mariota?
McCarthy.
By the way, just quickly, I know we said no explanation. I am so fascinated to watch this Vikings-Ravens game. Like, JJ McCarthy could go in any direction. The Ravens defense could go in any direction. Like, I have no idea what's going to happen in this one, and I can't wait to watch it. Do I trade Etienne and Dowdle for Jamar Chase?
Yes.
Yes, I agree. Knicks or Daniel Jones?
Knicks.
Knicks for me as well. Darius Slayton or Alec Pierce? I would go Pierce.
Pierce.
Caleb Williams or Bo Nix in PPR?
Caleb Williams.
I do love the PPR bit.
Dude, you got to ask it now. It's like a legitimate question. Again, he gets a bonus, man.
Bo Nix he got a touchdown pass last year, so really both of them can do
it. That's true.
Took your advice, Erickson, Diggs, and McMillan for Puka. Yes.
Let's go. Lucky Leo.
Yeah, I love that.
Bucks on your side.
That's congrats, Leo. Full PPR flex. BTJ, Harvey, Franklin, Loveland.
I will play the Broncos. Harvey, Franklin.
Both of them. Okay. Yeah. Jennings or Franklin? By the way, every time we get Jennings, I'm like, do they mean Terrell Jennings? They can't possibly mean Terrell Jennings, but I hope they
hope not.
I've been assuming they meant Jauan.
Yeah, it's probably Jauan.
Full PBR, I can't decide between Swift and Genty. Genty matchup is throwing me off. It's hard to just. I would just do Genty because Swift does have at least a bit of banged up stuff. Just do Swift. Yeah, don't worry about it.
Genty is a tackle breaking machine. I'm actually really excited to watch him play tonight.
I totally get being thrown off by the Broncos matchup in Denver, but don't.
90% of the snaps last week, volume.
Yeah.
Volume.
Henderson for Dobbins. He's 2-7.
I don't know. Does Dobbins like significantly help you more right now than Henderson does?
I would rather have Henderson.
Yeah, I guess for this week, if you're going to start someone this week, you would start Dobbins, right, over Henderson.
Sure, but I don't want to make a trade for just 1 week.
But they're 2-7. I think that's why. Okay, well, that's fair.
I get it. I mean, what's the point of going to 3-7 if your team's not that good? If your team's getting worse, right? Like I would.
True, Worm.
Try to win. Like
good point. Keep Henderson.
Who could be the breakout later? Yeah, it's Henderson. Like, and who's more likely to get hurt?
You saw my social short, right, when I talked about Henderson. Second year breakout. I saw your second. Yeah, let's go.
Last one here of the super chat. Start 2. PPR. Debo, Quentin Johnston, Troy Franklin.
Dude, I don't want to start Debo, but he's probably ranked highest in my rankings because he's going to catch like 4.
Let me ask you this. So I think Franklin is for sure.
Yes. Agreed.
And then I would probably go Debo. Let me ask you this. I don't think we said yes to Quentin Johnston a single time this week. Let's wrap up with just a very quick thought on Johnston because we got asked about him a lot and basically did not go with him at any point. So what do you think about Quentin Johnston before we get out of here?
Well, if you look at the target shares in the Chargers offense when Joe Alt has missed games this year, Quentin Johnston's at the bottom. It doesn't bode well for him if he's running all these go routes to get the ball from Herbert when Herbert's constantly under pressure because Joe Alt is not out there. So that's what concerns me the most. And the Steelers, they've been like eviscerated for most of the season against wide receivers. So you understand there's a ceiling play with Johnston, but I feel like the bust potential with him is also so apparent that's why I get concerned. And when there's another option that I feel like even just a little bit good about, it's like, I'll just take the other guy. And Quentin Johnston, that's why I feel like it's so easier to pick somebody else, even though I acknowledge, he scored a touchdown last week. Is he your lowest ranked Chargers receiver? Like, are you going to start him over Keenan Allen this week? Like, you like Gadsden over Johnston this week? Like, I think I'm starting all those guys over Johnston. So if he's 4th, I guess it's like why I'm having trouble getting really, really over the moon about him. So
one last one here: Franklin or Sutton?
Sutton.
Agreed. But wanted to ask because it gave in. All right, we'll go ahead. We'll go ahead and wrap these up. We got through every super chat, Erickson, by the way. They said it couldn't be done. They said a couple of fill-ins here, you and me stepping in for Joe and Debro.
Just a couple of Monangai guys.
Couple of Monangai guys could not get it done. We did. If you have any other questions, obviously there were other questions that were not super chats that we weren't able to get to. Just the nature of there's not enough time to get through to hundreds of questions in an hour. Please go to Discord. Erickson is on there. He has his own AMA channel. You can send him questions, fantasypros.com/chat. You can also just hit us up on Twitter. I'm at Ryan Wormeli. You can see it here on the screen on YouTube. Erickson, he's at Andrew Erickson _ or any, Fitz will answer questions, Zebra, all of them. So if you have other questions, go ahead and hit us up on Discord. Like I said, fantasypros.com/chat. The guys are in there all the time. I'm on social media as well. If for some reason you have a question for me and not Erickson, I can't imagine why you would, even though he did agree with me a lot today. So we'll go ahead and wrap things up there. For Erickson and for Seth, our producer, I'm Ryan Wormeli. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you again next time.
I have a question for Worm. Why do you hate Zay Flowers? Please.
Because he doesn't get touchdowns. It's a very easy answer to that.
Dude, it's actually crazy how he does as a cat. Even though Lamar Jackson, I bet the over on his 1.5 passing touchdowns every single week, and he always hits it. And Zay Flowers never catches it.